Hello, people. What's good? I'm Ted, and I'm back with another Pick'ems video. So, as some of you might know, most of you should know, the challenger stage of the last ever CS:GO Major, the Blast Paris Major 2023, ended yesterday. And today, I was like, hey, I just woke up, and time to do Pick'ems, baby. I wanted to do them even yesterday, but as some of you might know, I'm doing the Bulgarian broadcast for the entire thing. So, it's been a bit tiring. I've casted for like 40 hours in the last 4 days. So, I really had to go to bed.
Това ще бъде директен ръжба през смолковете, да видим дали ще бъдат хванат на лош тайминг обаче. Крат успява да намери първи, Айзак пада. Джери е много важен. Флаша е много лош. Това беше и флаш от съотборник. Джери трябва да остане жив. Много важни две убийства на капитана. Айзак най-накрая го сваля, но Джери си свърши работата. Да видим все пак. Бомбата ще бъде заложена. Айзак си я намери пушка. Ейкор е доста близо. Ако имаше флаш в момента Айзак да даде на Ейкор, ще е много опасно. В крайна сметка обаче рунда би трябвало да отиде за Gamer Legion след тези две убийства на Айзак.
Той знае къде е.
Едно в едно. Шалфи срещу Айзак. Айзак знае точно откъде идва Шалфи. Ето е граната, тя няма да го тагне. Айзак може ли да намери клъчата? Айзак собственоръчно класира Gamer Legion за Legend Stage. Какво изпълнение от Айзак?
Невероятно. Леле, майко.
I'm refreshed now. I just had a cup of coffee and I'm ready to get things started. As you know, we did it for the last major. Now for this major as well, we're doing like a mini series on the channel where we're trying to get to the diamond coin. Obviously, there's that 9 out of 9 movement. We're not going for that. We're gonna leave that for Maui. I guess one or two people is enough trying to get all 9 out of 9. I'm gonna be boring again. And I'm just gonna try and give you the best tips. So you and me included, we can all continue going on the path to the diamond coin. So let's get to it. All right, as you can see, we're already in game. We got the silver coin. First of all, we're gonna go through the challenger stage pick'ems now. If some of you decided to copy paste everything that I did, that means you're good. We got 7 right in the previous stage. We got the Fluxo all 3, and then we got G2, FaZe, ENCE, NIP, Gamer Legion, and Liquid going through. Mouse, I guess, caught a lot of people off guard. Them going out all 3. I don't think anyone had Mouse in there all 3, and this is why it's a lot of fun in the end of the day doing those pick'ems for majors, because it kind of shows that even though it makes zero sense for a team like Mouse to go out all 3, it can still happen. So I guess this is a friendly reminder to remember that in the end of the day, this is all a guessing game. You can make educated guesses, but in the end of the day, it's all a guessing game. And, shit could go wrong. Shit could go really wrong. Monte 3-0, they went through, wasn't a 3-0. So, it's not like we didn't have an idea that they'd do good, and they did really well. But, unfortunately, they couldn't grab the 3-0 victories. Now, we're gonna move forward. Time to get into the swing of things. So this one, there's 2 strategies. Now, I mentioned the 9 out of 9 movement, which, Maui is doing. I think Launders is doing as well. All of those guys trying to get as many correct as possible. But I'm gonna be the boring guy. I'm gonna give you the other perspective. I'm gonna give you the perspective of the person that just wants to get the 5 correct and just wants to go through. So I guess for a lot of you, it could make a lot of sense to go Navi 3-0 because they have Gamer Legion first round, which, is considered one of the easier matchups when you look at Navi. So I think looking at the calculator, even though it is completely, this round is up in the air and anything could happen in BO1, so it's really hard to see who Navi are going to be playing up against in the next round, potentially, if they beat Gamer Legion, because it depends on all of the other matchups. But I guess from what I saw, they're getting some of the easier draws unless they play against G2. G2 is the worst opponent that they can get in the round 2, which, it's one of the best teams in the world. So I guess it can't really get worse than that. But yeah, I'm going to go Navi just to go through. I think Navi are going to be... I think there's a group of 5 teams that are just a level above everyone else here, and they should go through. And, they're the safe picks. Probably, knowing how CSGO majors work, one of them or 2 of them won't go through. But I think that your safe picks here are Navi, Heroic. You put G2, you put FaZe, and then ENCE. And the reason I'm putting ENCE in that group, I feel like ENCE just showed throughout the challenger stage that they are on that higher level, right? Even playing against a team like NIP that's doing really well. I'm going to get to that later on. Oh, no, sorry, not ENCE. I meant Vitality, but ENCE as well. So it's 6 teams. But yeah, I think those are the 6 teams that should make it through easily, and I'm actually gonna put them in like that, so I can go one after the other. So Navi, as I said, I think they're gonna be playing really well. They are, in my terms, those are the 4 teams that are gonna be competing for the tournament plus FaZe. I think those are the 4 teams that have the biggest chance to get the tournament plus FaZe. I think there's a big chance Heroic choke it again when it comes to the final stages. So when we get into the playoffs, I don't think I'm going to be putting Heroic to win the entire thing. But Heroic notoriously is a team that does really well in group stages. The last time, actually, Heroic got eliminated from a tournament before the playoffs, I think it was IM Cologne 2022. So that's almost a year ago. They never miss playoffs. They are a consistent playoff team, and when you draw the line, I guess Heroic might be considered the most consistent tier 1 team in the past 2 years. They've constantly been a top 5, if not a top 3 team, but they haven't been able to get the trophies. Which there's always been teams like that. They're just that wild card. Who knows when they're gonna break, or if they're ever gonna break that mental barrier and be able to find the right mentality to get the things done in a big final. But in the end of the day, I feel like they should be guaranteed to go through. Same for Navi. I mean, I consider Navi a team that can even fight for the trophy. So for me, it's not even a conversation if they should be in there. G2, I don't think they will afford to go out in the group stage, and individually they're looking phenomenally well. m0NESY right now, a top 5 Oper for sure. If you're talking Opers only, he might be close to, even though in my opinion so far this year, the best Oper. And I'm putting quote unquote Oper, not talking about players, because if you say players, ZywOo and Simple, right? But and you can't, even though you might consider that so far this year hasn't been that great for Simple and blah blah blah, but when you put in the Oper category, I feel like m0NESY is up there, close second to Shiro so far this year, and he's been spectacular. I guess I think that G2 is gonna play really well. I have high hopes for them. I think they make it through. Vitality is a wild card, but I guess my argument here might be not as valid, but considering that this is Vitality, ZywOo's playing there, Spinx is in a great form, ZywOo's been insane, Magix and dupreeh have had a couple of good events. I don't think Vitality is a team that can afford to miss out on 2 consecutive playoff appearances at majors, and they did that at Rio. I feel like they will do better, and they are a team that can go all the way. For them, it's kind of like a 50-50. One day they're going to be able to beat anyone, and then on the other day they're going to be able to lose to a lot of teams, which is, for example, the difference between them and, I'd say, Heroic or a Navi, right? Because I don't see Heroic, let's say, losing a best of 3 to, I don't know, Apex. But I can see a world where Vitality beat anyone in the best of 3, but lose to anyone in the best of 3, which is crazy. Then we get to ENCE. I feel like ENCE is a team that I strongly believe in. They've been playing really well. Snappy going out and saying, I'm the best Danish IGL right now. And by the way, let me know what you think about that quote from Snappy, that interview. Let me know in the comments if you think that he is the best Danish IGL, because obviously we have 2 more Danish IGLs even in those 6 teams. We have Cadian and Karrigan. But the fact that Snappy's been able to create tier 1 players out of tier 2 players, absolutely undeniable. He's been able to do it multiple times, and I think that Nerds is just the right fit. And I said that in the video for the challenger stages I was picking them. I still feel like ENCE should have this one in the bag. They've been playing great, and again, in their game against NIP, they showed up. They can turn up and make a really dangerous NIP look a bit below them, which is a testament to them. And then we have FaZe Clan. Now, I really don't want to put FaZe Clan in. The only thing with FaZe is the fact that I think what stopped them really in the previous major, if you remember, when they went out 0-3 and they lost to BNE the elimination game in Rio, I think what happened there was FaZe not getting to fix their mistakes and what they wanted to fix throughout the tournament. They got a little amount of time, really limited amount of time, should I say. So I feel like now the fact that they were able to go through the challenger stage, play some CS, and now they can work for one more day and go into the legend stage a bit stronger, I think they should do well. And they're normally one of those teams that, do well, do better progressively into a tournament, as they learn a lot from their mistakes. So now with those 6 teams in, and bear in mind, those are not all of the teams that I want to go through, but those are the teams that I think are the most reasonable to go through. We get into a really interesting territory now. Taking a look at the teams, what do I think? Now, I don't think Fnatic are gonna make it through. I don't think ITB are gonna make it through. I don't think BNE make it through. I don't think Apex make it through. I don't think Monte make it through. I don't think Gamer Legion make it through, even though I've seen a lot of people put them all three. I don't think Gamer Legion are going all three. I understand they have a first round matchup against Navi, so this is technically almost a 3-0-1 for them. I think, I'm not sure if Keels is going to be able to repeat what he did in the Challenger stage. Isaac as well with those crazy impact rounds, but Gamer Legion were on point. And what I saw and why I'm not putting Gamer Legion all three as a lot of people will. Gamer Legion, I think people are underestimating the amount of prep that they do for their games, and the fact that they almost every single time for a best of 3 they come in really well prepared. So it really depends. I see a world where, again, Gamer Legion and Liquid, for example, go all 2, but then they win a couple games. I just don't see them losing an elimination best of 3, let's say, against Into the Breach. I'm sorry, but I don't think this is happening. Same for Apex, by the way. They're putting in a lot of great prep as well. I feel like those two teams, skill-wise, maybe, if it was only up for skill, could be considered L3, like pure skill. But when you think about, the smart approach that they've had, the good preparation, the fact that, players are able to step it up, because when I say skill-wise, the margin is really thin. It's not a big margin, because we saw what Keels was doing, we saw what Ime was doing, Acre was stepping up. So, yeah, and for Apex, we saw people like JL pop off massively, and it's been great, especially with the experience around him. It's nice to see. Nok as well played a really good first stage, but I still don't think those teams are making it through. Now, that leaves me with NIP, Nine, Furia, and Liquid, and this is where I start brainstorming. Now, take a look at that. So, Nine and Liquid are playing against each other in the first round. I still don't think Liquid are going to go all 3 as well. I think Liquid will do better. And I've seen a lot of people put them to go through in their pick'ems. I actually think this is possible. But for goddamn, this is Liquid. This is Elige, Nav, and Ykinder. And when you look at it, they got the best possible draw to gain up confidence. And as we said about FaZe, start fixing things on the fly, right? They got to play Fluxo, which is a Brazilian team, from the same region as them. Well, they're NA, but you get what I mean, NA region. They got to play Complexity in the second round, which, rivals, domestic rivals, a team that Liquid usually beats and feels really comfortable against. Nav is always a monster against them. And then they get Greyhound in the third round. They got arguably maybe the easiest way through from O2 to the Legend stage. And I think as much as that doesn't show that they're ready to face off against the Navi, Heroic G2, and all of those guys, it shows that they are gaining some confidence. And we know that with NA teams, a lot of it is about the atmosphere, a lot of it is about the mood and how the team is feeling. And if they're feeling confident going into a game, if they feel like they can just have fun and play CS and win, they will do well. And I feel like the level of experience of those guys and the fact that this is the last CSGO major, they won't really want to go out in such a, well, unhonored, I don't want to say unhonored, but such a scrappy way, you don't want to go out all 3. So I don't think Liquid are going out all 3. I think they're going to be around the maybe 1-2 wins margin, something like that. I think Monte are playing some good CS, but they're not good enough to go through to the playoffs, I don't think. And Liquid playing first round against Nine, I'd actually favor Nine in that matchup. So that leaves us with NIP, Furia, and Nine. And one of those 3 teams, I'll put 3-0. The other one I'll put in here to advance. And then we're going to start thinking about the O3. Now, before I continue, I want to say that BNE is actually, I think, a decent shout to go 3-0. I think BNE is a decent shout. I think BNE are going to play some real solid CS. And overall, I'm not going to put in BNE not because I don't believe they can go in, but because I believe in other teams more. I feel like BNE have taken a step in the right direction. It's pretty similar to what's happening with Furia, right? Furia have changed their playstyle drastically. They've tried to, be a bit more organized, a bit more compact, not that wild and crazy. They still have that, but not as much. It's not the only thing they rely on. So this makes them a bit of a wild card, but I still feel like it should be a good enough team. NIP is a team that's pleasantly surprised me. Well, I don't want to say pleasantly surprised because I've been chatting shit about NIP for the past 2 months. In terms of chatting shit, I don't mean saying bad things about him, but pumping them up a lot when they didn't maybe deserve to be pumped up. But now they're playing really well. I mean, I saw a couple good games from Rez. Brolin every now and then is turning up. Even though one of the biggest problems of this team up to this date, I feel like, is the lack of an anchor. The fact that Alexi needs to be playing the anchor roles on CT sides on a lot of the maps, and it's never good when your IGL has to be that guy. This is normally a guy that you want to be focused in his own game and, you know, just look at his crosshair and be able to get 2 kills whenever he's getting bullied on the bomb side that he's playing. Alexi was able to do a really good job anchoring throughout the challenger stage. I think it's going to be a lot harder in this legend stage, but Config's been playing really well. Hedrick is stepping up his game a little bit, and even though he's still being criticized about missing a lot of sitters and shows that maybe he shouldn't be, he's landing some nasty shots as well, and I feel like I find him as a really helpful Oper. And I feel like NIP is not relying on the Oper to carry them through. They have 3 completely capable riflers, and I feel like if they turn up, NIP can play some solid games. So I'm actually going to put NIP to go in. This is going to be my wild card. I was thinking about between Fury and NIP. I'm actually going to put in NIP. So that leaves us with the 3-0. And for the 3-0, I'm thinking either 9 or Furia. Now, I think Furia make it through, man. I really think so. Furia is a team that plays, that always plays playoffs. And this is what's crazy. And I'm thinking about making a change right now because of it, actually. But looking at the teams that I have to go through, I don't know who I'm changing. I guess it's you either. I'd put Furia here. I'd say you put either Furia or NIP to go in. I think that makes a lot of sense. And then I'm gonna put 9 to go through. Now, I know 9 playing Liquid in the first round doesn't seem like the hardest matchup ever. I think it is, but I also think that 9 deserve the credit to go 3-0, and I think they're gonna prepare the hell out of this. They probably play Anubis as well, which is a fairly decent map for Liquid, so I think they're gonna be feeling comfortable, but it's a scrappy map for Liquid still. And I think that against the 9 that notoriously has a lot of strategical depth into their game, I think they're gonna do well. Hopefully the pressure doesn't face them, but I'd rather put them here. I think that this is a team that's much more likely to crumble under the pressure. If they go 2-0, they lose their game and then they don't qualify. Rather than a team that, you know, can go 0-2 and then qualify for the next stage. I still feel like Fury are gonna make it. I just don't know who to remove out of here. Maybe if I was really nitpicky about it, maybe I'd remove FaZe just because of personal preference. But again, the fact that they played the challenger stage, I can't really do that. I think FaZe make it through. As I said, I think FaZe, Vitality, G2, Heroic, and Na'Vi are the 5 teams that I'd say are gonna be in the battle for the trophy. And I think there is a good chance that all 5 of those teams make it through to the playoffs. So, yeah, I'm going to put in 9-3-0. I feel like they can carry on with the momentum if they create it. They're playing well in BO1s as well. They managed to beat both G2 and Big. Even though it was really close games, they still managed to beat them in BO1s at the RMR. And, yeah, this is going to be my pick for it. So, with Furia being kind of my, 8 team to go through here, we go into the 0-3. Now, Gamer Legion, I'm not putting 0-3. No way. Monte, I'm not putting 0-3 either, even though I was thinking about it. But yeah, I am not putting them 0-3. I'm not putting BNE 0-3. I'm not putting Fury 0-3. So I guess Apex as well. They're really solid. I'm not putting them 0-3. I guess the conversation for me is it has to be Into the Breach, man. I mean, I have a lot of respect for what IDB have done. I think Fnatic, it could be a good shout, but a really wild shout at an 0-3. For whatever reason, I just don't trust Fnatic whatsoever. I think Fnatic won't go through, and they might be the other 0-3, but taking a look at it, bear in mind, you know, BNE, I don't think are going to go 0-3. They're a solid team. I don't think that happens to them. Bear in mind, there's a good chance that Gamer Legion go 0-3, Liquid, Monte, ITB, all of those teams could. I just don't think they will. I just don't think Gamer Legion will go 0-3. I see Liquid winning a game and being close to qualifying. I think Monte maybe is a chance, but again, they're really stacked individually, and I feel like when it's no pressure in the BO1s early on, they're going to be able to get a victory. So, yeah, I'll go ITB. I know it's a bit of a risk. I'm taking a chance because first round they're playing against Apex, so whoever loses here has a chance of going 0-3. I think Apex has a better chance to recover. I think if ITB start off with an Apex loss and then they play against a fairly better team, you know, a team of a higher caliber, let's say they play against, I don't know, the loser of Heroic can face. They lose again in their O2 if they play a BO3 against Liquid or Gamer Legion. I just favor those teams. Even against Monte, I'd still favor Monte. So this is my logic about it, and I think I'm good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I think sorry to all UK fans, but yeah, I just think that this makes the most sense. Again, for the teams that are gonna go through, there's a lot of good shouts. I advise you strongly to consider putting Furia or 9 3-0. I think both teams have a decent shot. NIP as well. You might, if you're feeling adventurous, you might try them. You might try BNE. BNE is a really decent shout for a 3-0 in my opinion. And then obviously if you want to go for the 9 out of 9, it makes the most sense to go Na'Vi here and then maybe Furia here, I'd say. Yeah, this looks good as well, but I'm gonna stick to this. I'm quite happy with it. So yeah, let me know what your pick'ems are, what you think about mine. You can let me know that I don't know shit, and you know, I'm probably gonna fail. I hope I don't fail, because in the Legend stage I actually failed at the Rio Major and I got 4 right, and I hope it doesn't happen again. I hope this time Vitality make it through, because I really want to watch ZywOo play on the big stage. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know, of course, what your pick'ems are, and hopefully next time I see you for the champion stage pick'ems, I'm gonna be happy because I've gotten 5 right. So yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel, because as you know, we're not only doing pick'ems, we're doing interviews as well, and as soon as the major is over, we're gonna get back with those. I have a couple really interesting guests planned out, and now I'm just sorting things out, and we'll see if I'm gonna be able to get them on the show. But yeah, subscribe to my channel, leave me a like. I appreciate every one of you watching the videos, and I know there hasn't been too many comments because the channel is just growing, but I appreciate the few of you that are commenting under every single video telling me thank you for the content, or I like that video, or can you have this guy for a guest, or whatever. You know, those comments are really nice, and I really do appreciate them. So yeah, you're the best. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Peace.